Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Right to the Top. I'm Adam. So this is part 2 of the tools building section of the writing course. Last time I talked to you about how to build your vocabulary. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to build your grammar. Now, before I get into any of all that, please subscribe to my channel if you guys want to show me some support. It's free. And mostly you'll just show me that you're into this channel and want me to continue providing you with good lessons. Okay, so now let's get back to the grammar. Now, this is not going to be a grammar lesson per se. What I want to do is a little bit show you how to build your own grammar skills, how to develop your grammar. And I'm going to guide you with some book recommendations, a couple of website recommendations. So there are very, very few books that I actually tend to recommend because I know there's so many books out there. But a lot of them are, a little bit more confusing than they need to be, I find. So the books that I always use, when I used to teach, in a classroom, I don't do that anymore. But when I did teach, the grammar books that I always used as a reference or that I recommended to students or that I gave as extra exercises were basically limited to 2 grammar books and a couple of reference books. Okay, so the book that I mostly recommend to people is English Grammar in Use by Raymond Murphy. Now, there are 3 levels. There's the basic, the intermediate, and the advanced. The basic, don't bother with. It's a little bit too basic. Start with the intermediate and hopefully work your way up to the advanced. Now, the advanced book is, I think, really, really good. But it's really, really advanced. So you might not be ready for it yet. Work your way up to it. But if you are ready for it, it's very, very useful. Now, the main reason I like these books is because they come with exercises and an answer key. So you can learn a point, a grammar point, and then practice it and then check yourself and see if you understood the lesson or not. The thing I don't like about it so much is that it's a little bit random order. I don't necessarily like the order of the lessons, but again, that's up to you. Everybody learns differently. You don't have to go in the order of the book. You can go in the order of things that you have difficulty with and then review other aspects of it. Another series is just called English Grammar. It's by Betty Azar. Again, it also comes in different levels. Don't really bother with the basic. If you don't have a basic grasp of grammar already, you need to be in a classroom with a teacher. If you're self-studying, you should be at the intermediate to advanced levels already. I like her books, the Azar books, because they're very straightforward. They has very clear examples. And again, exercises with an answer key you can check yourself. Another very good book is the Blue Book of English and Punctuation. I think this is Jane Straus. There's a few authors, but she's the main one listed. Also, very, very detailed book, and they go into some of the areas that the other 2 books, the other 2 authors don't spend enough time on. So very good reference books. And you can also go to grammarbook.com. That's the same authors. They have a website and they have the book. Very good reference. And the Bible of English studies, and especially like English teachers, I don't know if all of them, but many of them use this book. It's called Practical English Usage by Michael Swan. This book explains almost everything. It's a thick book. It has cross-references. Anything that you're not too sure about is probably explained in there somewhere. The only problem is you have to go back and forth and all over the place, and you have to use the appendix a lot. So a lot of people get a little bit discouraged. But again, if you're very devoted and very committed to learning grammar, this is an invaluable resource. The only problem is no exercises. So it's just for reference and learning by yourself. And I want to tell you about 2 more websites. One is called quickanddirtytips.com and do the /grammar girl. Now, this person, her name is Mignon Fogarty, I think that was her name. She knows everything about grammar. Now, her website used to be only about English. Now she's a bit of a lifestyle It's a lifestyle website. It's a little bit of everything, but she still has her Grammar Girl page, and how she builds this page is more of like a question and answer. People ask her questions and then she gives a good full explanation, but she explains things very clearly, very deeply, very easy to understand. So if you have the patience to scroll through all of the blogs and episodes she has, you'll find a lot of useful information there. And the last website is the OWL at Purdue. It's the online writing lab at Purdue University. This has a lot of resources about grammar, about citations, about academic writing. If you're in university or college, you must know this website and you must use it regularly. It will save you a lot of time, a lot of headaches, and all that. Okay? So those are my recommendations. Now, which ones should you use? I can't say. That's up to you, right? The way I tell everybody is the same thing. Look at the book, go through a few chapters. If you understand it, and if it somehow, works for you, then it's a good book. Use it. If it doesn't, try another book. Eventually, you'll find one that explains things in a way that you can understand. Everybody understands things differently. When I used to teach, one of the things that's good about being in a classroom, I could see if my students understood. Sometimes, like let's say this student understood, but this one clearly didn't, I would say it again, a review for this one and a different way of explaining for this one. And eventually I got everybody on the same page. When you're doing it on your own, a little bit harder. So that's why it's good to have more than one book. If you're not sure exactly what one book is saying, check the same topic in another book, and eventually you'll come to an understanding. Now, having said all that, why are you studying grammar? That's the first question we need to look at. Why study grammar? Why do you need grammar? If you took all the vocabulary in the world, if you had all the vocabulary that was out there, you still need to know how to put it together into sentences. So the whole point of studying grammar, in my opinion, is to get to the point of mastering syntax. Grammar is basically all the rules, all the little components of the language and how you shape a clause, how you shape a phrase, how you use a verb, how you use a preposition. But all of these things lead towards mastery of syntax. And what is syntax? Syntax is the arrangement of words in relation to each other within a clause, and clauses and phrases, in turn, in relation to each other within a sentence, such that you express a very clear message that you intended to express, right? Because you can say the same thing 5 different ways. I can write 5 sentences all saying the exact same thing. Why would I need to know 5 different sentences? Each one will have its own style, its own impact, its own resonance, its own ability to reach and touch the reader. So I want to know as many ways as I can to construct a sentence, okay? So that's why you're aiming for syntax. Now, on this channel, I won't put together too many grammar lessons. I will do the occasional, pinpoint lesson on a very specific grammar point if I see enough people are asking about it or I see that they're having trouble with it, okay? So that's the grammar, and now the rest of the English course, the writing course, is going to focus on actual writing as I introduced in the initial video about this course. If you didn't see it, there's a link up here for that. Okay? So again, don't forget to subscribe for free, to follow me. See you again next time. Bye-bye.